Greetings and welcome everyone to an All You Can Geek Gamecast. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Ahoy.
And Tony Korkanakis. You're muted there, Tony.
Yo.
There we
go. We all get it once.
Yeah. Welcome listeners, welcome viewers, welcome guys. Real live, Twitch, Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock. Join us for these. We can chat with you guys, ask us questions during it. If you can't be on these things though, over on YouTube's got all the video content, so you can go into there, subscribe when we post, and we'd love to hear from you there. So leave us a comment, give us a like, helps us out quite a bit, guys. Audio, Spotify, iTunes. I think we're on iHeartRadio even. So check it out. If we're not where you want us to be, you tell us and we will put it there. Okay, How about that? All right, Gamecast, folks. We've got a lot of news, a lot of Nintendo World news. We just finished the movie cast, talking about Super Mario Galaxy, the movie coming. We're going to lean into that in here. But first, I'd love to hear what we've been up to, because Tony wasn't here last week. Mike gave us a bit of a Silksong cover. Tony, love to hear your other side of it, I'm sure, as a bigger fan of the Shovel Knight stuff. So
Shovel Knight? What the Hollow Knight?
Hollow Knight. Did I say Shovel Knight? Wow. This is like the Dragon Age stuff. Sorry.
Yeah,
I apologize. Hollow Knight.
Hey, it is an indie. And it has
these are close.
Oh.
It had half of it.
Yeah, it's not bad. But yeah, it's the same thing, same idea.
Well, that happened when they both came out a lot,
yeah.
I thought.
You could easily mix the words up, yeah. But anyways, Silksong.
Yeah.
Tony, how you liking it?
It's amazing. I would say it's worth the 7-year wait, but at the same time, this game is very unforgiving. Like, there's so much shit where I'm just like, really? Like, that just happened. Like, or like, oh, there's a trap here. I'm like, of course, like there's a random fucking spiked wall I couldn't see that I was jumping towards, and that does it. Everything does so much damage, which is kind of, at the beginning, it's very very frustrating, because you're like, oh, I have 5 masks, which is like your health points. And you're like, that's a decent amount. And you start fighting enemies, and it's like normal enemies
just 2
can do 2.
Wow.
And in the first game, it was like really you had to fight like bosses for the most part to get, or like huge like mid-zone enemies where it's like, oh yeah, this dude will do 2 damage to you if you get hit by it. But it's just like, this is like just a random little dinky flea or mosquito or whatever. I'm just like, how are you doing 2 points of damage to me? Like, and it's just so like frustrating, because like
40% of your health.
Not to mention, the iframes don't exist. Like, there's a half second of invincibility when you get hit in this game. Or
half a second. It's funny because one of the recent story progression bosses I fought, most of her attacks did 2 points of damage. So I intentionally ran into her to get hit by her hitbox instead of the sword attack, or whatever you want, the weapon strike. Because I was like, if I hit her, it's only 1 point of damage. If I run into her, it's only 1 point of damage. But if I get hit by that sword, it's 2 points. So big brain galaxy thinking there. But yeah, I mean, it's really fun. I do have some criticisms of a couple of the different systems in it. So like, the first game had what we call charms, and like accessories, I guess, from any other game, where it's like it changes up the way that you play the game. It'll be like, you generate more silk, or like, I'll just use mana for understanding's sake.
Got it.
It's like generate more mana every time you hit an enemy or something like that. Or it could be like, oh, you can now like get a shield while you're healing, so you don't get interrupted and stuff like that. And there's so many different charms.
Why does that not work sometimes?
What do you mean?
But like, that just flat out doesn't work sometimes. I don't understand that shield. Like, the healing shield. I don't know what happens, but sometimes it just doesn't work. I don't know. Whatever.
Well, so in this one you have I don't even know, relics, I guess that they're called. I don't know what the proper term is. But depending on what fighting style you have equipped, I guess like Yakuza style or something like that, where you have different stances.
I don't think I got that far.
Yeah, you will. If you get that far. But you can equip different amounts of relics to different things. And they're all color-coded, so you're like, oh, like the one I have, I can equip 2 yellow, 2 blue, and like 2 red, I think it is, or orange, whatever. And I'm like, okay. But when one of the yellow ones is like, hey, this is your fucking compass, and if you don't have this equipped, you don't see where you're on the map. I'm just like, why is this a thing? Right? Like, if you're gonna be that mean about it, just be like, hey, you can't look at your map unless you equip that to your relic slot. Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, it's just asinine to me that I'm just like, why? Like, it's something that is so essential to the gameplay experience. Why is it just not built in? Like, why do I have to waste an accessory relic slot to do this? It's just baffling. So, in Hollow Knight, go ahead.
Yeah, I was so mad the first time I bought a map, looked at it, and like, where's the "you are here"? And you have to do that separately. Yeah, that's the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yep. So in Hollow Knight, when you had the charm system, different charms were worth different amounts. So like, you would want to get a certain level so you could equip certain strength levels of charms, and mostly like the different charms were weighted. So like the stronger the charm was, the more capacity you needed to hold it. Like let's say it takes 5 out of your 8 or something like that. Whereas like in that game, you just needed one single point, like the lowest possible amount to equip the thing that showed you where you were on the map. Whereas like this thing is like half your accessory uses, or like I guess a 6 if you really want to break it down to all the things are equal. But they sort it by like combat, defensive, and like I guess movement or mobility or etc. column or something like that. So it's just super frustrating. I'm like, this is like it just feels bad for the entire game because right, if I'm exploring, I'm definitely equipping this, and if I'm stuck on a boss, I will obviously switch it to something else that helps me in the boss. So it's just an example of that where I'm just like, what is this backward like design? Like I can understand back in 2016 or 7, whenever I played the game, I can understand then. But like 2025, like come on, man. Even From Software is more gentle these days.
Yeah.
Give them the Elden Ring. And that's the other thing.
Stuff, yeah.
There are some runbacks from bosses where I'm just like, this can't be right. I was like, I must have missed a bench, which is like the save point. I must have missed one. And I'm searching, and can't find one. And then I'm just like, okay, hold on. I don't want to be like an idiot and just waste hours of my life just being stubborn. So I'm just like, where is the bench for this boss? And people are like, nope, there's no bench for it. Like, that is the bench for it. Okay, so it's like a minute-long run, and just kind of like the old Soulsborne game. Yeah, all old school Soulsborne style where it's like, now you're like rushing to get back to the boss so you can get your beads and whatnot. And so you might not be caring about the enemies or the stage hazard and stuff like that. So you're taking damage.
It's sloppy.
Like, yeah, you get sloppy and it's just, whatever. And,
I will.
Yeah.
That's how I counted the number of times it took me to beat Morwing, which is a very prominent.
Oh, you got the Morwing. Wow, nice.
Yeah, but that one took forever. But I know how many times it took because of the 8 beads I got every time I went and killed the 1 bead holder guy on the way there. I killed him every time and got my beads every time. So I did division by 8 and realized it took me 31 times. So
oh my god.
Fun game.
Wow.
But yeah, like so those are my big gripes. But overall, I mean, it's really nice playing a game where the familiarity between Hollow Knight, like you could just jump right into this and be like, okay, like I play Hollow Knight, I can jump pretty much into this. You have to learn the nuances between Knight character, obviously, but they're like 80% the same, like moveset, like move left, right, jump. You get the dash earlier in this game, which is super helpful because I've talked to some people recently that played Hollow Knight, and they're like, yeah, I only played 2 hours or 3 hours, and everything was so slow, so I just like stopped. I was like, oh, you guys didn't like stick around to get the dash? They're like, there's a dash? And I'm like, yeah, but like, it's a little ways in. So I was like, all right, well, if you didn't, yeah, I don't blame you. So they give it to you a little sooner, which is good because again, some of those maps are so gigantic. And like the thing is, like every time I'm pulling up a map, I'm like, yeah, I know there's probably like 5 zones over here on this side, and yeah, there were, and it's like, all right, cool. Yeah. But other than that, like what I will say is like the vibes are very strong in this game, and I can't say there's many others like it. Yeah, you could say like Elden Ring or the Soulsborne games, but like other than that, it's really not because you're just straight up in an oppressive environment or an oppressive world where it's like shit's fucked. More often than not, you see an NPC and they're hostile to you. Even like the friendly ones are like, hey, don't stick around too long. Like my hospitality only extends so far. I'm just like, are you gonna fight me if I just like keep talking to you? Like I don't know. Like it could. Maybe it feels like one of those types of games. Like, do you remember those old like RPGs where it's like you could just keep talking and they would get pissed? Yeah.
There was an old NES games where if you attacked a village guy enough, he'll start attacking you back. So
Yeah, exactly. It's
don't hit the chickens.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's one of the. But yeah, the exploration vibes are really good. It just again, I mean, I like Metroid.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So this is right up my jam. I'm 30 hours in. I think I just got the final zone, which there's an asterisk there because apparently it's one of those games where it's like, I hope this isn't a spoiler alert because it was like this for the first game, but there's like a regular ending and then there's like true ending, and it's like apparently true ending involves a lot of bullshit. So I am looking forward to that. There's one part in this game where I fought probably the hardest boss that I've encountered in the game so far, and I won't mention anything specifically other than I beat the boss, and it had one of those like I set the control down. I'm like, oh, I'm expecting a scene or something, not like a full blown cutscene like a Final Fantasy CGI cutscene, but like in game animation cut because they've done it a couple times before. So I set my controller down because I'm like, yes, I fucking beat this boss. They were so hard. And all of a sudden, like, this thing happens, and they explode, and I was in that radius, and I fucking died.
Oh, that sounds like
an
Elden Ring story if I ever heard one.
Yeah. But well, here's the thing, Jim, fellow Elden Lord.
Yeah.
It's in the From Software games. If you and a boss die simultaneously, that counts as a win. Yeah. You go back to that area, that boss is dead. Yeah. Not in Silksong. Oh. Not in Silksong. And the whole time I'm like, please let this be like From Software. Like, so I'm running back. I'm anxious. I get there. Boss is back. I'm like, you got to be fucking kidding, because I was on that for like an hour, and I was just like fuming. But I channeled the power of hatred and anger and just beat him immediately. And if I hadn't, I would have been so pissed. Like, I would have been extremely like, yeah, I might not play this for a day. So that was a fun experience. But
wow.
So, like, for this game, because it is basically trying to punish the player in a lot of ways, but, like, how do they make that fun? Like, that's the thing that, like, that's where it's, like, for me, I've tried Hollow Knight. I was like, this is probably not for me. I didn't even do Elden Rings and Dark Souls and stuff. It's like, I want to have fun in a game, and I don't mind the challenge, but I don't want to be punished for doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing.
Well, I wouldn't say it's necessarily punishing. Like, when I say punish, like I'm being pretty colloquial there, where it's just like, hey, like I wasn't careful, right? What I would say is like what these games do is immerse you in like kind of an oppressive, like, and give you adversity. Where it's like, hey, you, like literally in this game, like you were captured by an unknown group of bugs, and presumably they wanted something from you. You break out and you're like, okay, well, if they wanted me so bad, let me go and I'll find them and they'll regret having messed with me. So the whole kind of like story, and when I say story, it's like not too much. It's one of those like kind of like you have to find your own lore, you have to explore. It kind of just challenges you the whole time because like you progress from zone to zone and you see like, even though I said majority of NPC in this game are enemies, there are some friendly ones. And those are the ones that really help encourage you because like, I guess just getting the story, the bugs in this region all like want to worship this deity, right? And they have to make a pilgrimage to the chapel or citadel in the sky, basically. They say sky, but it's high up. And so you meet these pilgrims along the way. They're like, oh hey, and they say like whatever, like red bug or red cloak bug or whatever like that. I'm going to the citadel, and it's like she's like, are you sure, bro? Like it's pretty hostile out there. Like all these bugs are just like fucking out to like kill and eat each other, and they're like, yep, well, I'm devout in my faith and this is gonna be my shield. And you're just like, bro, I'm getting my ass pounded. How are you getting there? Right? How are you getting there? I'm special, you're not. Like whatever. And it's really fun because like you could see NPCs throughout the game. Like I talk to them in a village and then I'm out in the world and like you hear a familiar like singing or an NPC talking, you're like, oh, bro, what are you doing here? Like, how are you here? Like, how did you get past all those dudes? Like that kind of stuff where it just kind of like pushes you to like explore and be rewarded with like finding out kind of your own story. Because there are some parts where it's like, how do I say this? are custom tailored to your choices, right? So I'll give you one example. One of the first NPCs you meet, friendly. I'm like, little bro. I call him little bro because it's like he's like the tiny, like one of the smallest bugs you could possibly encounter in this game. And he's like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Citadel. I'm just mustering up my courage. And you're like, okay, good on you, buddy. And so like for, I don't know, 10 hours or something like that, he's just there. And all of a sudden, the one time I go to the village, he's not there. I'm like, bro, where did you go? Right? And then the village, something happens. And I was like, little bro, were you here? And then another like 5 to 7 hours later, I revisit a different area, and I found little bro. And I'm like, little bro, I'm so happy. And I was talking to a friend where I was like, I saw little bro get murdered. I was like, what? You let him get murdered? I'm so sad. And I'm just like, well, my little bro is safe and he's happy and he's, my bro. So I don't know, it's just one of the things like you have to get atmospherically. I can't really. It's intrinsic to each person, like to be like.
Well, it's also the challenge, right? It's like
it is the challenge,
the overcoming the difficulty, and like because it's possible. It's like, hey, this thing is possible. It's like, do you have the ability, the skill, the tenacity, and the endurance,
and that's what it is, right? Because like, look at Jim, like not to call Jim out, but like I remember when you tried Sekiro, you're like, nope, not it.
No.
But then you tried Elden Ring, and I was like so happy. I was like, wow, he's coming back for more. And look at you, Elden Lord, fellow Elden Lord. So it's one of those things that I think once it clicks for you, right? Once it clicks for you, then it's it. And for me, it's one of those things where like this is probably one of the tougher games you're gonna encounter all year. And me personally, I want to try that. And between this and like Elden Ring, especially the DLC, Sekiro, all this stuff, I'm just like, I think we're reaching the upper limits of like what is feasibly possible, where it's like challenging but like fair, and like absolute bullshit. This is just like,
right. That's a fine line, because there is that,
and that's the thing.
Aspect. It's like this is just like this is not fair because like the game is just screwing you over. There's nothing you can do. Whereas like there you can win, but it takes skill.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where I think this, and especially the Elden Ring DLC, really blurred those lines to the point where I'm like, I know I can do this, but like it's one of those things where I'm like, how many attempts is it taking me, right? And that's.
Do you want to take 31 tries like me?
Yeah.
You're still playing it, Mike?
Yeah, Mike.
You're still at it?
Not now because I'm playing something else. I might go back to it when I'm out of things I more actively want to play, but I did kind of stop. I stopped when I had 2 outstanding bosses at once, and I had to like learn them both and travel between them. I'm like, I need to not play this for a little bit.
Yeah,
because I ran away from one boss. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I can't. I don't even know how to figure this out right now. And it was a little after Morrowind where I'm just like, I don't want to invest that much time figuring one boss out again. So I went some other way, and then I came across another boss, and again, I have no idea what to do to even like hurt this one. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play Metal Gear now.
Yeah, and what I will say finally on this is like, I know there's been a lot of pushback, not a lot, but there's been more vocal of a pushback on the difficulty of this, where I think they even like introduced a patch to nerf the first couple bosses a bit. And it's one of those things where like I think even From Software, again talking about difficulty and stuff, I think even From Software realized like, hey, like it's okay if we have a difficult game, but maybe we don't put so much of it in the beginning where it's like, hey, if you're a new player, hey, you hit any game for $20, like sure, why not? I'll try that, right? But then you're getting your ass handed to you for hours on end, like that's not very welcome, right? Like you have to have. Usually, games have that like slow but steady progression of like, hey, like do this, and this. Okay, I could do that. Do this, and this. It's like, hold on, okay, that's a little harder, right? Where like kind of like Nintendo games, I'll use an example where it's like you can jump on a Goomba, cool. Now jump on 3 Goombas in a row. It's like, okay, jump on like 1 million Goombas, and while you're, I don't know, carrying something. It's like that's harder, right? You don't start with that.
No, that's why I mean, like Ori was a good example of that. Like it brought, like, it's very similar, but a lot easier. Because it brought you through that progression of like, okay, you're gonna jump and dash, or you're gonna jump, then you're gonna jump and dash, and then you're gonna jump dash, and then jump off of this again, and then jump back.
Right.
So, have to
put it all together, and you're a real boy now.
It was steps. This sounds like,
here
you go, you're done, go on.
And the thing I think From Software really realized with Elden Ring though was giving that open world, like you can walk away. Like if you go to a zone, you're like, I'm getting my ass.
That's what I liked about it. Yeah.
Handed to me. I'll go to this different area and I could still make meaningful progression, right? And level up and then come back and you could get stronger.
That saved it for me.
That's probably my biggest criticism of Silksong is like the progression of power and feeling more powerful is, I get it. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I could see that being criticisms, whereas like the progression of power in this game is like very slow and spiky, whereas like nothing, and then, oh, extra health or extra sword upgrade or something like that. And you're like, holy crap, that's huge. Like, I don't need to hit this dude twice to kill him versus 3 times. Like, that is huge. But I could see it being those things. But yeah.
Anything else, Tony, or just that really? Okay.
No,
all right. So we'll go to Corey in just a second because I got to hear about his thing. But let's go, Mike. I heard Metal Gear.
Yeah. So what was interesting was during my time playing Silksong, I was also playing Everything or Nothing because of the James Bond hype. Yeah. I finished that. That last level of that game was also bullshit. I was playing on hard because I played it before, but I remember you recall that time period where the game itself is not very long, but you have to replay a lot of levels because you get wrecked, and that's how it works. You replay them a bunch.
Yeah.
And there's also pretty difficult optional things for like rewards and cheats and stuff. And I mean, the history of Bond games, that's kind of how they are. But I was pretty happy with it. And what was interesting is Everything or Nothing came out in like February or something of 2004. And then I went and Delta, which is the very faithful MGS, mostly very faithful MGS remake. MGS came out in November that year. So it was the same year, and it was an interesting comparison because on the surface they're kind of trying to do similar things, but not really.
I mean, it had a whole Bond opening. Metal Gear, but yeah.
So at first I was hoping Delta felt more modern than it did. They did not. I kind of wanted them to change more than they did because.
Yeah. Okay, I got you there.
I don't know. Just in comparison to, I guess, what was a peer at the time, the controls just feel archaic.
I will say, like, I have
more streamlined, obviously, but it just felt more natural, and it translated to modern controls a little better, which is funny because no one would say that thinking long term the history of games. But
I've died in this game accidentally because of bad control. The control like being backwards suddenly, and I didn't realize I was backwards. It's happened.
I don't recall in MGS5 if you're automatically stuck in the like prone or lay down position if someone knocks you down.
Yes,
you have to press that button to get up.
I believe you
because it's a total mess every time it happens, like every single time.
But see, you know what? For me, like when it happened, I thought it clicked real quick for me. So I feel like that was the way it was in MGS5. I still feel like that was it. You're stuck.
Maybe I was just playing too much Everything or Nothing because obviously you just get up in that game. But it's funny. So they have the new camera, but it's not very good. The new camera, I think there's a lot of enemies that are more hidden from the new camera than the old isometric version.
Yeah.
So you really have to use that like sonar thing more often. But as it is with these games, as you go further in it, you get more into it, and I'm liking it again. I played the first one only like six-ish years ago, so it's not like
it's not that old for you.
I truly played. Yeah. I'm liking it. I'm pretty far into it now too. I think I'm already to Volgan's fight.
I couldn't play too much this week, so you're probably almost caught up to me already.
But there was a reason, and I didn't do it the first time 6 years ago. I was trying to go non-lethal because of a very specific thing that happens in this game, where you have a better time if you go non-lethal, and I couldn't do it. After a while, there was just a few times where I'm like, I can't. I'm out of non-lethal ammo. Too many things are going wrong. Everyone's dying, and that happened a bunch. So I still went through my bad time, but at least I know what to do at the end, unlike the first time. Actually, I forgot, and I did it twice. My bad time for my sins, but which is it's very unfun, that part, if you don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, so but it's definitely weird and fun. A good game to go back to. I just wish they did. I do overall wish they did a little more in this remake than they
like,
did.
They get a nice polish of graphics, and controls mostly are pretty quick and smooth, and I like that. But then like I keep getting like I have literally died later on. Like I can't even tell you right now where I back over a mine accidentally, and I'm just like, I wasn't going that direction. Why did I suddenly go backwards? You know, and I'm just like,
yeah. Oh yeah, you have to switch to first person view to like turn yourself around on the ground, or otherwise
there's
you're
some
gonna
wonkiness. But there's
like
always been
worm weirdly on the ground.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know, but yeah, there's some things you got to figure out.
Like it's like it reminds me very much of tank controls, but not as bad. But you know what I mean. It's like you get stuck in a certain perspective. Like that's it. So, all right. Corey hasn't been playing anything. Nothing big came out for Corey, right?
Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Made you wait all the way to the end here, Corey. Come on.
Yeah, no, it's all good. Obviously, Borderlands 4 has released, and I've been playing a lot of that. I think I've got over 20 hours of Borderlands 4 in playtime.
Wow. From Thursday?
Wow.
From Thursday, yeah. So, I mean, obviously, Borderlands is my favorite franchise. As you guys, if you're a long-time listener, you would know. And it's not necessarily been great in recent years for Borderlands. 3 got better.
Yeah.
But a lot of things initially with 3, the storyline was just not good. But the gameplay itself was good in 3. It was hard to want to be in that world because it was just very much a joke a minute, and they're all memes and of the time, so they didn't really last. Like, they don't make sense now necessarily.
Yeah.
So, like I said, it's better now because of the DLC and things like that. But they took a lot of the lessons they learned from that, and they've been working on this game since before Borderlands 3 came out. So it's been like 6 years that they've been working on this one, and it finally came out. We'll probably talk about some of the experiences people have had. I have not had any bad experiences with Per4mance myself.
I want to hear that.
So,
like, what are you playing?
What do you mean, how?
What are you playing it on? So I just want to know what you're playing on here.
Steam, PC,
okay.
3060. So, like, it's one of those things where I'm just like, I know my machine is at the bottom of what this game is capable of doing, so I'm not trying to push any ultra settings or anything. I'm just like, all right, I'll just go down to the low settings and put it on performance mode and just like whatever. It's not a game that I need to see in ultra 4K like high definition.
It's not one of those games.
No,
yeah.
I can see that.
So it's like whatever.
Like,
I don't need ray tracing.
Yeah, art style leads to like 1080p is perfectly fine for this kind of game. Like, it's the art styles. It's always been like that. So.
Yeah, no, it's fine as far as like I'm more concerned about performance, good right? So that's what I put it on, and so I did not have any issues.
Yeah,
I did. There are some quality of life things that aren't on by default, which I'm surprised by. So in this game, they've added a lot more movement options. So there's double jumping in this as well as dashing to the side and sliding and a grapple. And the grappling hook is not necessarily used that often, but when you did grapple, by default, it locks your camera in on the grappling point, so you can't spin around and like shoot things. So I turned that off, and it makes a world of a difference when you do that, just because you want that freedom. I don't know why that's not off by default. But as far as the gameplay goes, it is fantastic. I think as far as
it looks great, like when
my experience has been, it's the best Borderlands game that they've made. It is now an open world, and they said there's no loading, and they're dead on. There is no loading in this game. Like, you can go from one end to the next end of this map, and it's gigantic. This map is huge, and there is no load times between different sections of the map. You can tell there is like a little wall that comes up to show you that you're moving into a new area, but it doesn't. It just like maybe loses 1 frame or something, and like you're right there, so there's no load. The only time it really loads, I guess you could say, is when you die and you have to respawn. It does the respawn animation stuff. So that's been great. And with the weapons now, there's so many different weapons, and a lot of it's junk, but that's the point of this game, right? Is like farming for those like ideal roles, farming for the things that are going to boost your character and break your character. And people have shown like you can break these characters, and it's like, oh, this build is totally broken, and then it's like this other character's build is totally broken, and just you can just do so many different things to make your builds just seem so overpowered. And so as far as that progression is gone, it's been a lot of fun, and just being in this world is just so much fun. And like there's constantly things happening, and it feels almost like a living world, like a not necessarily like a always online game, but there's things that are happening throughout the world that are things like random and world events, and there'll be bosses that pop up randomly. So there's always stuff happening. I think they could probably fill it up even more if they wanted to, but there's constantly things happening where like you're just wandering around and exploring, and then something will come up and a boss will appear and stuff like that. So they did a great job of making you want to be here in this new planet, because it is a new planet that they've put you on. And so yeah, I'm very encouraged, and the story's been good. Like you have this over boss that's going to be the main boss, but then you have the three lackeys that he's got, and you can do them in any, or because it's an open world, you can do them in any order, and it doesn't seem like this is weird. Why am I not doing this? And it's like not this rush to do that. Like I know for you, Jim, open world's like, oh, I'm supposed to save the planet or save the world, and like I have to kind of mainline this one thing. It doesn't make you feel like you need to do that. You can kind of take your time and just hit whatever boss you want, and it all makes sense story wise. So I thought that was really well.
That's good.
Yeah, I thought that was really well put together, and each area is unique and different, and you get some returning characters that are cool and interesting, and the new characters that you play, the new Vault Hunters, are awesome. So I'm excited to see what they do with the DLC as well, because we know we're going to get more Vault Hunters, and they're going to bring in weekly events and things like that. So there's a lot there. I haven't gotten to Endgame, but I've heard that it's not as good as people are hoping for. Yeah. So we shall see. But yeah, like I said, I've been playing a lot.
That was a good draw for the second one, just the over and over loot runs. But
it definitely fixed a lot of the like in Borderlands 3, you constantly got legendaries.
Yeah.
You don't get legendaries as often as like
so it
as
makes
you
it a little more challenging to get.
I've been like farming for like one boss forever, just because there's certain things I'm looking for, and like I maybe see 2 legendaries in 20 runs. So
cool.
And the other thing is quality of life is just like they made it so that way you can just replay a boss fight immediately. Like there's this one fight that's very early in the game. It takes maybe 20 seconds to kill him and reset it and go again. So like I have a cooldown on my the ultimate, or right, with action skill ability. It's like 40 seconds, and I can cut that in half by doing like they have these boosts that you can use. I can cut it in half, and I do that, and I still can kill the boss, re-trigger the fight, and get back in there without it being reset. So
cool.
It's pretty crazy.
Awesome. Yeah. Aspects of that game that I've been hearing about, and this is not in your mileage may vary, were performance issues. So the problem we have right now, well, Randy Pitchford's been on Twitter because he can't stay quiet and has to keep trying to
he had a great post that was very well put together.
Yeah,
it was well thought out, and it had some good information, and just like basically it's like be patient and everything. And then he had to continue on and keep going.
I was saying, like, just leave it at that. Like, we're working on stuff. We're gonna have a fix. I understand there's performance problems, but like telling people that, like, you know, who spent $1,000 on the graphics card, that you should be happy playing it in 1440p. Or, you know, trying to tell them to downplay their settings for like AA and stuff like that they're working like on their posts about complaining. He's jumping into people's posts. Why is he jumping into people's posts? Like, dude, just let it go. That's my problem. But
play the game.
He's never been able to do that. He's never been able to do that.
I know.
This is Randy Pitchford.
I know.
No.
And
then we were on such a high because the game the launch was great. No server issues, which is always a worry when there's a game that requires to be online.
It didn't crash Steam.
No.
Didn't crash Steam, which they wanted to try to do, which they couldn't do it. They did hit over 300,000 concurrent players, so that's cool.
Doing well.
I mean, I think Borderlands 2's highest peak ever was 150. So
it's been doing
and
well.
That was the highest. Like Borderlands 3 was 90, I think.
I mean, it does have
been killing it.
It does have severe issues. Looks like on console in certain areas, like the frames drop to 20 in a lot of areas. So I've seen that a few times, and that's on a PS5.
I think again, it's gonna
Pro. So
your miles are going to vary. Like again, if you're trying to break it, you will definitely do it. But if you're just playing it normal settings or lower,
that shouldn't happen on a console, though.
No,
I mean,
the console optimization is the biggest problem I have.
You can't do anything really. You can choose 2 options usually.
No, I mean usually there's performance and visual.
2 options usually.
Yeah. So I do agree with that, but they'll get a patch. Listen, it's every game launches with some issues. Apparently, this one's performance is worse than when Cyberpunk launched. That's what I was reading.
I don't think that's true. That sounds like
show you the frame rates.
I mean, I've heard issue, but Cyberpunk was like, bro. Again, Sony pulled that from the stores. It was that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see them doing
not
that
a
to this,
chance.
but like they were comparing it to that, and I was like, okay, so
who's they? Like a user?
You can see the posts on Twitter. Like you can see the frame rate dips. It's certain areas are just unplayable. And they're not wrong.
No, that's fair. But I mean, Cyberpunk was literally broken.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything that said
this is broken.
Borderlands is broken.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that either, but I do think
let's say, I mean, out of 300,000 people, let's say maybe 50,000 people had issues.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot. I still think, but they're going to be the loudest.
Yeah, they will be. That's the thing. That's what you'll see. So.
Oh, I mean, it's just like I said. I have one of the lower end machines. I've not had an issue, but again, I'm not trying to go ultra because I understand people want to have like ultra settings, super high, like performance stuff as well, and watch it in 8K. But like, the game doesn't. You don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. There is like I know people have said there is a memory leak somewhere.
I'm sure. The thing is, like most AAA releases, I'm sure there was some rush to get this to market, or it's one of those things where right. They moved it up, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm sure give it a month, 2 months maybe, and I'm sure we'll see patches to improve the performance and all that. It is just unfortunate. It's like all these games, like I wait for it, right? Like I waited for Cyberpunk, which we just talked about, like. And I had a great time. I love that game now. But if I had played at launch, I'd probably be pretty fucking salty. I wouldn't. So, it's up to each individual. And the thing is, if you bought it on Steam, and maybe, I forget the consoles, but at least Steam, you have 2 hours before you're like, actually, okay, I should wait.
Yeah. 14 days, 2 hours of gameplay. So
Right?
Yeah.
Remember when you bought Helldivers, Jim?
Yeah.
And you refunded it?
And refunded it.
When I told you not to?
Yeah.
Because there were server issues, and then you rebought it again?
And I rebought it again, yeah.
And then you ever played with us again?
No. So,
all right.
Let's get into news.
Corey, don't laugh. You never played with it either.
I know. I'm not laughing because I was right there with Jim.
I bought that game for like no reason. I played it like.
And you were on the wrong times, like schedule wise, dude.
Yeah, I can't ever schedule you.
But it's still a great game.
It is.
It's so. But yeah, Borderlands, awesome. Highly recommend.
Right.
Hopefully your PC's strong enough and you can teach 2K how to build games.
Yeah.
Or Gearbox.
That's what he wants you to do. All right. Gaming news, guys. We got Nintendo Direct to cover shortly here, but let's talk about some other news first. Marvel vs. Capcom Fighting Collection arcade sales topped 1 million. 1 million.
Good for them.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I mean, it's
good
been
games in there
now, but it's fun.
More
still have that
collections
installed
coming.
Well, I've already seen.
They did the other. They're making other ones, right? Like
the one with Capcom versus SNK, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But I just I know we got Marvel Tokon coming out, but I just don't see a world where they're not working on Marvel vs. Capcom next. I'll just say next, because who knows if they're going to do a numbering system.
Yeah.
Clearly, there's money to be made there in all aspects. I mean, I don't know if you've seen Hasbro Marvel Legends line just did like a Gamerverse fighting game line where they had like Captain America, Wolverine, Psylocke, Thanos, and Omega Red. And they come with accessories that straight up look like the pixel artwork from the game, where it's like, him throwing the shuriken or Wolverine doing the X slash with his claws and stuff like that. And it looks awesome. Like, so clearly there's money made in the. I just don't see both Capcom and Marvel being like, we're good with just this collection. Like, we don't need anything. It doesn't need to be serious. There doesn't need to be any strings attached. Like, you don't go through all that licensing bullshit.
Yeah.
But I don't think we'll hear about it until at earliest next year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Probably a little longer.
So, all right.
It's just
We've got some new game details here. Dispatch coming from the studio behind, Wolf Among Us and
well, it's a new studio.
New studio, but it's the people that work
comprised of yes.
Wolf Among Us.
Wolf Among Us.
Is it Tales of the Borderlands? Is that the other one?
Yes, Tales of the Borderlands.
Yeah, so it's a game called Dispatch, coming to PS5 and PC October 22nd. $30 for full season or $40 for the deluxe version that includes digital art book. It will be released episodically over the course of 4 weeks, this game. So it's going to be a storybook kind of style game.
Remember this is, I believe it was from the Game Awards first revealed a year or two ago, where it's a kind of like a superhero cartoony setting, and it's a guy being a dispatcher for superheroes. But obviously Telltale type choices and decisions need to be made. So I don't know. It's not like major news.
Remember that,
right? It's not like major news, but I saw that and I was like, oh, I remember being like cautiously optimistic for that, and I'm excited to see it come out and hopefully, right? It's good. I always hope for a good game.
I'll definitely try it out.
Yeah.
Right,
it's got a lot
Tales
of
from the first one anyway. It's really good, and Wolf Among Us is great. So
I think they cast a lot of people in the like YouTubers streamer community in this one.
I'm sure they're cheap as hell to buy, right? Because you're an indie studio, you don't have that much money. It's like we could pay like what was it? God, what's that fucking worst game of the year? Like 3 years back, The Clock or 11th Hour or what?
12,
what was it with
12
William Dafoe? 12 minutes? Yeah. It's like, why spend money on William Dafoe on this shit ass story game when you could just hire?
Daisy Ridley was in that too, wasn't she?
Yeah, I think so.
There was them and some other guy.
And Ewan McGregor.
Well, Dafoe was in Everything or Nothing, the main villain.
Yeah. So, all right. We talked some Nintendo news actually on the movie cast already, folks, for the Super Mario Galaxy movie coming in April. But let's talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened last week, and all the games that they announced that were shown and coming, and we got some cool stuff. We finally got a date for a game I can't wait to talk about. But let's kick it off with this Direct that I will say that they announced releasing on that day was the Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC, and I have not heard great things about that. Is that true?
I've heard mixed things, but it was mostly the fact that it's a little pricey. It's $20, and I mean I don't want to say it's empty, but it's kind of a roguelike where the whole point is to kind of like all these other roguelikes we talk about, Slay the Spire or Dead Cell, whatever. It's like you have a certain amount of Hades, right? You have a certain amount of time to do something in a run, and when you fail that run, there's like certain parts that are like perma progression, but most of it just goes away. So I don't know, like on the list of stuff I would have wanted from Donkey Kong DLC, like this definitely wasn't on my radar. So I was
maybe that's why it's getting
that was interesting. It's really close to launch though. I wasn't expecting DLC until like next year for this. But it's one of the things where like I think it's kind of an experimental title for the Nintendo EPD team. So we'll see how it goes. I'm in no rush to get it right now. $20 got me Silksong, so 30 hours into that. And it's one of those things where I feel like if I wait, it might show up on the Nintendo Switch Online like subscription service. So like, to me it's so low on the priority list that I have no desire to like get or play it at this time. But I heard that if you like that kind of thing, that because they're asking you to like basically you farm like gold in this game by like punching anything basically. So it's all about that and like seeing how far you can dive into the layers because each layer is its own world essentially. So I could see the appeal of that. Where like, how far can you get in this run right before your time expires or whatever. Corey, like when we played Splatoon 2, like the what was it, that PvE mode? Big salmon run. Yeah, like that was fun. That's probably my favorite part of Splatoon, right? It was just the mode. So we'll see,
Yeah.
But I mean, kind of like God of War, right? With Mike with Ragnarok, right? They had that free DLC.
Yeah, that was surprising, and that was fun. But it
was free.
It was free too.
It was free.
Yeah.
Big difference.
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. If this is free, I'd be like, hell yeah, I'll try.
Yeah.
I'll wait.
All right, let's see. They got a release date for Hyrule Warriors: Age of Imprisonment. Finally, I know they showed that a little while. Was it last year they showed that game first? I feel like they showed that a while back. That's the Warrior style game coming. It was shown back in April. That's what it was. Coming November 6th. So that's launching this year, November 6th. So if you're interested in that, I think the first one. I think you like that one a little bit, right? The Hyrule Warriors one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's cool because it's like half Zelda and half Hyrule Warriors. Yeah. So
yep. Kind of
this one is interesting because supposedly this one is more canon to the Tears of the Kingdom storyline.
Yeah.
Where if you know, like if you play the game, you know which part we're talking about, and if you don't, that's fine. So I'm interested in that regards, So
yeah, I agree. They had some. I'll go back to the first party in a second, but they had third party stuff shown as well. I will give them credit, like Resident Evil. We're gonna have Resident Evil 7 and Village coming February
7, 8, and 9.
Oh, and 9. Requiem and Requiem on the
same day.
Yeah, same day.
February 27th. You get all three.
Yeah, all coming that, and I'm guessing that's gonna be like a stream download thing. You can't keep all that in the carts, but the last one at least, I would assume. Man, we'll see, but.
Well, I mean, it's one of those probably installed, like it's not on a cartridge.
Not on a cartridge.
Sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I mean, that's pretty impressive. I like Dusk Golem, who's the guy who's the Capcom / Resident Evil leaker.
Yeah, had
teased this for a little while, but everybody was kind of suspicious, like, oh, it'll probably be like a last part of 2026. Like a late port, which was kind of used to MO for Nintendo consoles. But like this is day and date with the other systems.
Yeah,
which in my opinion is like that's pretty huge. Like.
It's impressive they can get it to run like that.
Right.
To run
and you
like
look
that,
at that,
yeah.
And it's like I'm not saying you cannot tell the differences, but like they're not that big.
It's impressive what they've been able to push out of the little system. Yeah.
Yeah, out of a 10-watt, portable system. I mean the biggest difference is like the lighting, which is whatever, but like the hair. And I'm like, I don't care about the character's hair.
I mean, that's the only thing I noticed from. They also showed the Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade coming.
That looks
January 22nd,
awesome,
and that looks. Yeah, they did a fantastic job with that. That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know how they're pulling that off. Like that's like some magic sauce right there.
It's all about all about that upskilling and AI. I told you about.
AI.
Like I told you when we talked about this last year.
Yep.
Deck. I was like, it's gonna be stronger than the Steam Deck, but not as like you just can't make those strong like you.
Yeah.
Opposed to the PS6 release.
Yeah.
Show me the difference between a PS5 Pro and a PS6.
Yeah.
Bro, you need software to tell me which one's better. Like I guarantee that's what it's gonna be. Yeah. You're gonna need the software to be like, this one runs at 130 FPS or some bullshit. But no, Resident Evil all of them on the same day is actually a lot. I'm surprised that they didn't try to space that out a little earlier because like it's only gonna be the super fans that are gonna buy all the same day.
Yeah, that's a big launch on that one day.
7, 8, and 9.
They could have done one a month. That would have been
they could have. Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
But
anyways, indie side of things, they had Stardew Valley supporting Game Share. Coming this fall, they had Overcooked 2, Human Fall Flat, which is a mouse game. Power Wash Simulator, Saruka, anything there that looked, I don't know, that was interesting indie stuff.
Power Wash Simulator is such a funny game.
What was it?
Power Wash.
Power Wash.
Now we froze. Yep.
Don't. But no, one of the cool things is Overcooked 2, Switch 2 edition, which Overcooked was one of my favorite indie games of gen.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever played it, it's like multiplayer. Yeah, it's like multiplayer, like cooperative, but try not to get in each other's way kind of thing. So seeing that as having like 60 FPS, game share, and camera play. Like I don't think I'll use the game shares, and that's one of the features that I think is really not being sold too much on the Switch. Like that's really cool. Like I don't even if you remember, Jim, you probably do. Back in the day when we had like Mario Kart like LAN parties with our DSs and stuff like that, where it's like I don't own the game. I'm just like you don't need to own the game. You don't need to own the game. Just you click the thing like get software from somebody else, just wirelessly.
Yeah.
I think you can only play Yoshi or Toad or something like that, but I think that's a super cool feature.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I think it's a super cool feature where it's like, you have, and it works with Switch 1. So of course, Switch 2 for you're older, you could give the Switch for younger.
Yeah.
This game together and just have one copy of the game.
But,
that's a small use case.
Yep. Other games, Hades 2 arriving day and date, September 25th, when the full game launches on PC, Steam and Epic Game Stores. It's coming out the same. It'll exit early access.
It's a console exclusive launch, which I think is pretty huge.
It will support
120
frames. 120 frames.
Yeah, that's huge. That's also sick. If it wasn't for Silksong, I would say Hades 2 is probably the most wished for, wanted sequel to an indie game.
Yeah.
But this is the next best thing, so great to see. I mean, I know we talked about it like 2 weeks ago or whatever, but like the last quarter of this year is crazy with releases. Like, I still stand by you.
Yeah.
I was not expecting Hades 2 to come out.
I'll have to try that out this year too. There's a lot to play in the second half. I know I made my comments about disappointing games. I get it, folks. I stand by that statement right now.
Wrong.
But it is changing. And it is definitely changing, because then we get at the end of this year, which they didn't save this for the end of their show. Metroid Prime 4 is coming.
Yeah, it was in the middle of the show, which is weird.
In the middle of the show, December 4th launch for this game. A day and date purchase for me right off the bat. I have to play the game. I lose my bet too.
Officially lose
my bet. Which was only a matter of time.
7-year running bet.
Only a matter of time, because there was no shot. But they showed off a motorcycle aspect of it too, which was the bike aspect, which was cool.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it's a lot of traversal in the land with it. I'm not familiar with Metroid Prime very much, those games, believe it or not. I haven't played much of them.
No, there's none of that.
Yeah. I do know that it looks great on anybody, like on any like Switch 2, Switch 1. I'm getting it for Switch 1, but I'm excited for this game. So Tron-esque bike. Perfect example what it was for those ones.
Yeah, it looks cool. And kind of like what I was saying when they showed the last trailer, I was like, I feel like there's some secret sauce missing here, because I'm like, don't get me wrong, it looks good, but it doesn't anything worth the 10-year or 12-year, whatever long it's been since.
Right.
So this is part of it.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll get another direct before.
Yeah, we will.
A focus direct on this game before it.
They even set up some 2026 launches. Pokemon Pokopia coming in 2026 for Switch 2 is like their. Is it like Animal Crossing? I don't even know. Like, it's Pokemon, like a life simulation game.
Yeah. The best way I can describe it is like Minecraft x Animal Crossing x Stardew Valley.
Yeah, that Stardew Valley has to be. Yeah, I got that vibe.
Which, hold on, I don't know if, I know none of you guys are like real big Pokemon. Ironically, I'm wearing the shirt for a reason. Like, the whole game being about a Ditto that takes the form of a human and being able to do human things, I was like, that's kind of like creepy pasta type, like, like Pokemon is cute and for kids and stuff like that. But when you think about
it's imitating.
Creepy.
Yeah, it's imitating somebody.
Right, it's imitating a human being, and it's like, now that I have fingers and an opposable thumb, I can do things. I can build stuff. I can create life. It's like, what the fuck?
It's
like, so
it's a weird game.
Don't look too deeply into it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And then I think lastly on their thing that was coming for 2026, which got me excited, is another Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. Which was shocking to see that they announced. I did not have this on my radar. They were going to announce a game for them, but they were due, I guess, weren't they? They were due.
Yeah, it's been a couple of years. It's Engage. But this is really cool. We'll get back to it, but the really cool thing is that trailer ended with a character from Three Houses. Like, wait a second.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, this, most Fire Emblem games are not related to each other, where it's like kind of like Final Fantasy, where like every game is its universe kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this one appeared that way up until the very end, where it's like, oh, like, have you forgotten me already or something like that?
Yeah.
You were a major character in Three Houses. What the fuck are you doing here? Like, so now it's like people are just going crazy with the theories. Like, what does it happen?
Creates conversation and theory crafting and stuff. So that's a great tease to do. And it was kind of like they didn't do it with a certain Xeno game, but like it's like, wait a second, wait, what's happening here? Are
Yeah.
we all connected some ways? So
What
that'd be cool to see if that's how that plays out.
Yeah, what's crazy to me is that Fire Emblem Three Houses, one of my favorite games on Switch. When we ever get to that list, one of the things that I really appreciated, like there were 3 routes you could take in that game before. Spoiler. 3 routes you could take, and you sided with a different faction each time, and that spawned like so much discourse in terms of like team. Like I'll just use Twilight as an example, like Team Edward or Team Jacob. Like it was that level of like war in like the fandom. Where what, are you Blue Lions? Fuck you! It's like Edelgard is a fascist. Like seriously, to this day, since that game has released, people still argue about which house is the best and whatnot. So it's really funny, like seeing this, like people like me, where it's like we just like Fire Emblem. It's like great. Now we're just starting the next 5 years of discourse over 3 houses. Like we're just continuing. We're gonna have like a decade of 3 houses discourse because we're getting a sequel to 3 houses. So
we'll see.
I'm looking forward to it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh man, I don't know.
Yeah.
Let's see.
All right. So let's go back to the Mario aspect of the broadcast, which was the 40th anniversary. We had a bunch of Mario stuff shown. Shockingly, well, not shockingly, but disappointingly, I guess a little bit. No new Mario game, 3D proper, but they did remaster. So we're getting Mario Galaxies 1 and 2 in a collection pack. They did announce that.
Yeah, fucking bastards. Because if you remember, when they released 3D All-Stars on the Switch One, I was like, I have it, and I was like, why the fuck isn't Galaxy 2 on here? It's not a huge game, so like you could easily fit it on this cartridge.
No.
And now it's like, oh, well, here's why. And it's like, I feel so pissed off because really,
it's $40 separately, aren't they?
The only reason, you can buy them separately. For
$40, but
it's just, right. It's just I would rather just have them all on one cartridge, right? So it's now just like, is there even a point to keeping a cartridge? Because like Mario 64, I could play the N64 app. I'm sure Super Mario Sunshine is coming to the GameCube app at some point.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I should just sell this while the cartridge is high value.
It's getting like
just buy this collection.
I looked it up after this. It's getting like $100 on eBay, so I might sell it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, dude.
I've never opened mine. Mine's still sealed, so.
Oh, you can get more.
I'm probably gonna post it because I think you're right.
You should send it in and get it graded.
Oh.
Get it graded.
Don't get it graded.
We'll see. Dude. I'll just post it. But
no, it's just if something is sealed, they grade the sealed part. They don't grade the actual item.
Yeah. Well, they can't. It's sealed. So
right. So it's like, oh yeah, this plastic's 10 out of 10. Cool.
Anyways, so yeah, we're getting that collection. Getting a Switch 2 version of Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Fresh multiplayer modes. But I think what was the other one? Yoshi and Mario. So we're getting Yoshi's and the Mysterious Book, which is coming next spring. That's another 2026 game. They showed a lot of that, and that game is going to look phenomenal because the Yoshi games always look amazing. They
always have a great art style, whether it's like Yoshi Yarn, the Woolly World.
Yeah, absolutely.
They get inventive with the art styles there.
It's crazy what they pull out of that. Like I said it last time I saw that game. Like it is crazy what they're pulling out of the Switch system with that game.
Yeah.
That was the Yarn one, right? Yeah. And then we got Mario Tennis Fever shown coming in February. Another February game for Switch 2. First new Mario Tennis game since 2018. It looks very similar, I will say, but they did add. What's the new mode they added?
There's a bigger emphasis on the story mode. It looks like, but also the multiplayer modes.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of the new ability they said you can charge up. I can't remember what it's called. That's why I was just blanking on it. But
yeah, I forget the gimmick, but it's basically
the gimmick. That's what I'm trying to remember.
Right. But I'm looking forward to this because the last one was awesome. Like I think I said it before when I played, but like it's literally like if you took a tennis game and introduced like fighting game super meters into it. You have building a super meter, and you can use parts of that meter to do like dodges or like slow down time or counter. What is it? Is it spike? No, what's a spike in tennis? Smash, I think. Yeah, smash, or whatever like that. Or I'm like, wait, this is a tennis fighting game, and I thought that was incredible.
Yeah. It's a great idea.
But so I'm really looking forward to this one.
Yeah, it was a really cool thing, and they did say that we'll have more throughout for the Mario 40th as they go through. So I would expect, like you said, maybe a Mario Galaxy 3 game possibly coming, as we were talking about.
I'm hoping that's it next year.
Yeah. Did I miss it?
The only thing is that would that be the same team that just did Donkey Kong? Like, Or do they have a different Mario team for Galaxy than the Odyssey type thing? Because they obviously were the ones who did Donkey Kong.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, they're big enough where they could work on multiple games. So, like, I mean, Switch 1 launch, we had Zelda, we had Mario.
Mm-hmm.
So it is possible. I mean, it's not coming. I wouldn't expect hypothetical Mario Galaxy 3 until end of next year. So, 18 months. They have enough time to work on it, finish it. And the one thing is Nintendo does hold back on certain games where it's like, hey, this game is finished, but we'll wait for a gap in the schedule before it gets released, because they can afford to, not have every game out in a quarter, unlike most third-party publishers. Like, hey, we need revenue, so our right? Where it's like, cool.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, overall, good direct. I don't think did I miss anything?
Yeah, you missed a couple things.
What did I miss?
So one, weird stuff, but one was there's a talking Wonder Flower from Mario Wonder as an accessory, like a weird real life. You could buy this, and it's like, oh, like, is this like it's like Siri, I guess, where you like talk to it? But then they're like, it will also randomly talk to you throughout the day. I'm like, what the fuck? That's creepy. Like, who wants that? Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes my thing goes off. Like, even on a podcast, I'm like, I wasn't talking to you, dude. Like, that's creepy to me.
Yeah.
But the biggest surprise that I did not see coming, I had nowhere near my bingo card, and I thought we were being trolled, was the announcement of the Virtual Boy coming to the Nintendo Switch Online Classics.
I missed that one. I'm so sorry. I was saving it for the end. I was saving it for the end, and I forgot all about it. My jaw, I think, almost hit my desk when I was like, "What are they doing?" But $100, you can buy the Virtual Boy once again, folks. I could do it again, and I kind of
like a full-blown accessory shell. Where you just take. I know, dude, like, here's the thing. I have no love for the Virtual Boy at all. It is clearly the worst Nintendo system ever.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, this is a funny use of $100.
Like, I'm just like. The nostalgia aspect of it, to play Teleroboxer one more time. Like,
oh my god!
I know you had it, Jim.
I had it. Yeah.
I know you had it. I don't know if anyone else. I was gonna say I don't know if I know anyone else that ever had that.
I will say I was disappointed with.
I played it once at a friend's house. Once.
I really wonder how much stronger they made the base, because my base actually cracked very early on, and I had to like epoxy.
Oh really?
Huh. Yeah, the plastics, because there was a lot of weight. On that. It's a lot of weight on that thing. It's very top heavy.
It's gonna be much.
It'll be much.
I'm assuming. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, the technology has come a little bit further along. It's going to be smaller and more.
You could just buy the box thing for $25. Like, it's like Google Box. You know when they used to do the Google.
Yeah, it's like a cardboard box. Yeah.
And that's really what it is. It's a glorified plastic version of that for $100. But I really kind of want it.
It looks like it. I mean, it's like a little mini Virtual Boy.
Yeah,
but I just like. I can't see myself playing that many games. Those I can't.
I mean, the thing is, like, even as a kid,
that many games.
No, like, there are like 14 Virtual Boy games. Like, there were like 15 or 16 released. Like, look, that's pretty much the entire catalog. Maybe a couple third-party releases that they couldn't get licensed for. But I'm like, the only time I ever played Virtual Boy was at Blockbuster. I remember, even as a kid, I would go to Blockbuster, try the demo, and even moving away from it, and even at that age, like, you always hear like things like, "Oh, don't do this; it's bad for you. It's bad for you." Like, that I knew was bad for me. Like, I'm like, oh, my eyes hurt. Like, what? Oh, like, I'm like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want.
Every time I would stop playing, you'd get that blurry haze looking up and out.
It's so awful.
Yeah.
You're disoriented and you're like,
God. Oh. Yeah, it's like, I mean, I don't know why, but like, why black and why was it black and
red?
Yeah, everything's red.
Yeah, black and red. I don't know why they chose that coloring scheme. Maybe for the 3D aspect for red. I guess red always worked with 3D.
Yeah, maybe red is probably the easiest visible color on the spectrum, so maybe it just was easier to replicate that 3D effect.
But man, I do want to. I'm definitely going to try it. Whether I do the $100 purchase or not, I can't wait to try these games. And they'll be on the classic. They're on the. For those subscribed to Nintendo Online, you get these.
Yeah,
games.
You get this included.
So, making the value even better.
I think.
Sort of.
I think the Wario game on that was actually really good.
Yes. So the Mario Tennis was very good. Mario
Tennis was really good too. Yeah,
Mario Tennis is the only one I remember.
Yet again, Everything else was you can only play for 15 minutes without getting a headache. Great game, but you only play for 15 minutes. Yeah. Bomberman. I think it was the Bomberman Gems game. I actually liked that quite a bit.
Yes, yeah. I forgot about that. So yeah, I mean, it's fun to see. It definitely came out of left field, and this is one of those things where like I like when they just kind of drop new things out of nowhere. Because like if they're like, hey, coming out, whatever, like we'll have Virtual Boy at some point. It's like, that's not exciting. But when you're not expecting it, it's like, oh, cool. Like, oh, you're making a shell. Okay, that's cool. Like, I don't know like who it's for, but like it is for somebody at least. So that aspect is cool. And the thing
Someone
is,
somewhere is hyped.
Right. And, the one thing, not to get in too much of a soapbox, we can save it for like copycat, like, I know as we move to a digital future or a digital present, whatever you say it, there's always that talk about preservation. And Nintendo's usually the target of vocal minority, I don't know what the word is, where it's like, oh, Nintendo hates preservation because they take down, like, emulator sites and stuff like that. I'm like, well, look, just because you want to play free games doesn't mean you should be able to play free games. Like, I'm sorry, like that's not what preservation is, right? But as an example of this, like that is a cool thing, right? Because like, who in their right minds would be like, yeah, let's make the fucking Virtual Boy like a shell for it. We'll sell this accessory so people can faithfully get as close to possible as that original authentic.
Yeah, like how did
6, 7 experience.
Whoever had this idea, how did they sell it to launch Nintendo launch this? Like
right, exactly.
I don't
like
even know how they did it.
I'm just trying to think of like failed peripheral. Like imagine if Sega was like, oh, we're gonna authentically recreate like the Sega 32X CD attachment, like whatever thing. Like they wouldn't do that, right? So from that perspective, I think it's really cool.
Yeah,
it lives on that legacy. The NES, the SNES, the N64, and GameCube controllers being available. This is the next step.
Yeah.
But the cool thing unrelated to the Virtual Boy. Recently, patents have been revealed of a new accessory for the Switch, where it's like kind of an addition that introduces a second screen.
Oh.
So, I think DS and 3DS might be in the future.
Yeah.
Where that would be kind of cool and explains how the Switch 2 has a USB port on the top and bottom, so that you could plug this accessory in either end.
Interesting.
And if you could use that, man, like that was cool. The DS catalog is one of the best ones.
Yeah.
Among any systems. So like that
absolutely.
That is insane.
That's exciting to actually think about. So cool.
So, that was definitely the most what the hell news of the Direct. Like the chat was blowing up. Online was like, hey, do you want to blind yourself again in 2020?
Yeah.
You don't have to look at the sun anymore. Just look into your Switch very closely.
It's just funny because like the kid in me just was like, "Oh, that's cool," and then I'm like, "Dude, the headaches, the headaches, man."
You got the nostalgia headaches, my head is
you're like, you get
throbbing.
that right here. It's, but yeah, it's all right. And so it was a good Direct. I think that's it. Yeah, so that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this episode, folks.
And well, next week, I know it hasn't officially been announced, but Nate the Hate is still double downing on a Sony September thing next week.
Wolverine,
State of Play or whatever.
Wolverine.
Yeah, Wolverine's got to be the big thing, and the last.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Yeah. I mean, he wasn't wrong about the Direct, so I don't see any reason to doubt him on this one.
Let's find out. All right, so it's gonna wrap it up tonight, folks. Thanks for tuning in once again. We're live Twitch Tuesday nights at 8:00. We do both movie and games. YouTube's got all the content though, so if you subscribe to both, you know when we go live or when we post, and listen to your audio podcast wherever you want to. And we'll see you guys next week. We are out.